back to another episode of SPNation Season 2. My name is Ira Pablo. Join me this evening for another exciting episode filled with a lot of basketball talk. Pero syempre, hindi tayo nag-iisa dito. I have here with me two guests. I have sports analyst Dino Lee. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to this episode. And syempre, makakasama natin my friend, former PBA player, Ael Banal.
What's up, Ira? First time yata natin magsama sa broadcasting world, no? But kasama ko si Ira matagal na because of because of Kyle. Kyle Nates. He's been my teammate in many years, under 18 national team, D-League, also in the PBA. So shout out to Kyle. Great to be here with you guys. Hump Day discussion. So excited.
Yes. So if you guys are ready, then let's dive into the world of live sport. If you guys are ready to elevate your sports experience, ano pang hinihintay nyo? Whether you are a die-hard fan or you are just simply a fan of the game, we've got you guys covered. So register now at Sports Plus PH. So for today, we are going to talk about exciting topics. Let's talk about our hot takes this evening. So let's talk about our PBA imports. PBA na kickstart na this November 27. Let's talk about the imports. Let's talk about the imports that are coming back. And syempre yung mga bago nilang dinagdag for this season. And let's talk about Troy Rosario. Finally and officially, lumipat na sa kabarangay itong si Troy Rosario. Let's talk about the move, if this one is going to be an advantage for Ginebra and Troy at the same time. And let's talk about the new potential reported format for this year's NBA All-Star. So it's going to be a 4-team tournament format. Let's tingnan natin kung it's going to be beneficial for the league, if it's going to make the All-Star more exciting this year. And of course, syempre, hindi mawawala yung ating SPN expert picks. Alright. So let's get this one started. Let's talk about PBA imports. So it's already the 49th season of the PBA and it's already the Commissioner's Cup. There are several teams that, of course, got the same imports for this season. Syempre, yung two best imports from last season, we have RHJ and Justin Brownlee for TNT and Barangay Ginebra. Is this a good decision for both teams?
After you, Dino.
Well, if you bring in a new import, there's always a risk that it won't pan out. Sabi nga nila, di ba, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
So, if you look at the teams that you've mentioned, which is the Talk Intex, Tropang Giga, and at the same time, the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings, they have probably, I would say, the two most, two imports that you can rely on to give you a championship. Si RHJ has given them two back-to-back championships at last year and this year ng PBA Governors Cup.
Yeah.
Justin Brownlee I can see RHJ going towards a path like Justin Brownlee for TNT. Because Justin Brownlee when you look at Justin Brownlee, he has won 6 championships over the course of 11 conferences.
Grabe, no?
That means when Barangay Ginebra has him as his import, more than 50% of those conferences that they have him, they've won a championship. 8 times they've been into the finals. And 3 of those times, outside of those 8 finals appearances, semi-finals appearance sila. So basically, sure, if you have these two imports, sure, medyo deep run ka na talaga sa isang conference. So sa akin, I won't blame even if they lose a couple of inches dun sa ibang imports na ibang teams na mas matangkad yung imports nila. You have 2 of these reliables that can probably give you a championship or gives you a good chance of winning a championship. Now, with the other 2 na returnees, si Ricardo Ratcliffe, he hasn't played for 7 years, but he has that familiarity with that team, with Coach Chito. At the same time, he also has that national team experience, 6 years of national team experience. Malaking mabigat yun for South Korea playing in the World Cup, wherein he was the top scorer at second or first top scorer nung 2019 World Cup. So sa akin, mabigat yun. Then George King, when he came in last conference, during the Governor's Cup, 5-2 ang record nung him as the import. So he was averaging 40.3 points, 13.1 rebounds, and 4.7 assists. You can't blame those 4 teams going for these old reliables. Now, outside of them, ang nakita ko pa lang si Akil Mitchell, who played well during their ESL game against the KBL champions. So parang sa akin, I like the moves of but obviously TNT and Barangay Ginebra has the edge over the other teams.
Right, and also there are some teams that will also do the same thing. They're going to get their familiar imports. Binanggit mo kanina, we have Ricardo Ratliff for Magnolia. We also have George King for Blackwater, and San Miguel can also pick up Quincy Miller, currently also playing for them for EASL.
Yeah, and for me, the difference kasi between Governor's Cup and the next conference is yung height. Yung height, yung extension ng height, yung change ng height difference. And so I agree with Dino. But I'm gonna speak from a player's perspective. No, may sabihin na natin may mga top tier teams, may middle tier teams, and may bottom tier teams. And so if nasa top tier ka, usually you stick with what you have kasi nananalo ka eh. And as you can see, yung recently lang nag-finals is TNT and Ginebra, and exactly RAG and Justin Brownlee, sila yung import sila. And not only then, to confirm yung sinasabi ni Dino is marami na silang final experience. Successful sila with these imports. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, like what Dino said. However, playing for the bottom tier teams, the rule is basically take whatever talent you can get, the best available talent. Wag mo nang pakialaman yung chemistry, wag mo nang pakialaman, bottom kayo, hindi kayo nananalo eh. Yeah. So talent includes height, 'di ba? So kasama yan dyan. So hindi lang kung gaano kagaling, but syempre, malamang sa malamang kung nasa bottom tier teams ka din. Wala sa'yo yung mga matatangkad na players like Poy Aram or Kelly Williams or Japet or Junmar. And so you're gonna need height. And so if you are a mid to bottom tier team, it makes logical sense to get the best available talent. So you go big. Sayang eh, parang pwedeng sabihin, kumuha ka ng 6'6", hindi naman kayo nananalo. Diba sayang yung couple of inches na ano, diba? Or if kumuha ka ng 6'6", pero kailangan sobrang galing, di ba? Sobrang scorer na parang...
Do you think for the di ba sabi mo may tatlong tiers?
Yeah.
For the second and third tier, do you think it would matter kung matangkad yung import nila?
They again, best available talent. So not just the height, just skill level, experience. We have checked Diallo there, who's an ex-NBA player, di ba? So kumbaga parang all things considered, i-consider mo din yung height, di ba? The top tier teams have the luxury to not go there because hindi nila kailangan ng complete na solid talent eh. Malakas na yung mga teams nila eh. Kailangan nila yung chemistry and yung familiarity and yung continuity. Ito, may luxury yung TNT Ginebra. Kakagaling nila lang from the last conference and itutuloy lang nila, diba? So, it's very, very seamless. And so, again, go big if you're a mid to bottom tier team for the talent. And go with the same guys if you're a top tier. Ang very glaring lang dito is si Blackwater na who ano, 'di ba? Parang they kept the same import who's 6'6".
They were 5-2.
They were 5-2.
They almost made it to the quarterfinals.
To the quarterfinals, diba? So they almost advanced to the mid-tier team. So what this is saying is, yes, maybe not sa height, pero sa talent, magaling yung import nila, kaya ikikeep nila to. So, we'll see. We'll see how the conference goes. But, yes, go big if you're mid to bottom, but keep with the same guys if you're top tier teams.
Okay.
Well, to me,
yeah,
would it matter though? Yes, I understand you're getting the best talent. Pero, history-wise,
right,
when you look at things coming from a perspective, the last time a non-MVP, non-SMC team was in a PBA finals, exception of Bay Area, because they had Andrew Nicholson, they had Miles Powell and that team. So malakas talaga yun. Pero if you take them out, the last time there was a non-MVP on a SMC team, it was 2018 PBA Governors Cup. Alaska yun.
Alaska.
The last time a non-MVP, non-SMC team won a PBA championship was 2016 PBA Commissioners Cup. That's rain or shine against Alaska. Now, after that championship, since then, only 5 teams have split those 19 conferences. Ginebra and San Miguel has 7 championships, TNT has 3, and then Meralco and Magnolia each has 1. Now, for Commissioners Cup, it has been 2017 San Miguel
This conference to, the Commissioners Cup.
Ito Commissioners Cup, yung backtrack lang natin. 2017 San Miguel, 2018 Barangay Ginebra, 2019 San Miguel, 2022, 2023 that was Barangay Ginebra, 2023, 2024 that was San Miguel. So what does that speak of yung itong mga binigay kong facts? Kahit anong kunin ng mga imports na yan, mananalo ba sila? Yun lang naman ang point dun di ba? Parang
straight to the point.
Yun lang naman yung ano dun Parang what it only says is kahit anong paghahanap ang gawin ng mga Tier 2 at Tier 3 teams na yan, hindi na lang pinangalan ni Ael pero ako na lang papangalan. So, ano ba ang... Sige, magsimula tayo sa Tier 1. Tier 1 usually that's San Miguel, Ginebra, TNT, Meralco.
Yeah.
Then yung Magnolia and Lex medyo outside looking in yan, di ba?
Pwede mo isama si Magnolia sometimes sa...
Tier 1, Tier 2. Parang outside looking in sila. Pati NLEX, di ba? They haven't gone to PBA Finals. They haven't won a championship. Then Tier 2 dyan, these are the teams looking to win but difficult to compete with SMC MVP teams. Kasi nagda-draft ka, sa'yo lang. Pero yung SMC, may nagda-draft para sa kanila, di ba? So, there's Rain or Shine, Converge, and Phoenix. Right? And there's a Tier 3 which is the alleged farm team. So,
I like this guy.
Kung titignan natin yung Tier 2, Tier 3, kahit anong paghahanap na gustong gawin nila, mag-search sila ng talent. Obviously, you can't afford a top-level talent na naglalaro sa EuroLeague. So, parang they're just vying for, the best they can get.
The best they can get.
But they're not winning. Wala sila. Hindi, kahit anong, ang point doon, kahit anong kunin nilang import, hindi sila mananalo ng championship.
Yun nga, so wala sa import, it has to be backed up with, of course, kahit yung first 5 mo man lang for these middle tier and bottom tier teams that we
parang participation na lang. You're just getting
Ganito na lang. Ilalagay natin sa
import for participation purposes.
Ilalagay na natin. Huwag na natin sabihin championship competing team. Sabihin na natin best competing team they can arrange. Parang gano'n na lang, best competing.
Kasi, pero kung magtitipid ako, at alam ko naman wala naman akong chance ma-championship. Pag na lang ako kumuha ng import, di ba? Mag-all locals ka na lang, di ba?
May fine yata.
Ano yung fine pag di ka ako nung kumuha ng import, di ba? Grabe yun, no?
Kailangan na lang.
Pero yun,
facts only. Facts
for me, you have to look at, I guess, TNT, San Miguel, Ginebra, and Meralco for this conference. Yung iba, parang good luck na lang. Thanks for joining.
And San Miguel still yata has no import rostered yet. Parang naghahanap pa sila currently.
Nakakatawa eh.
After that blockbuster trade, parang nakalimutan yata nila yung import.
Sinikir muna nila yung future nila.
Yes.
Kasi nga wala sa import.
Tsaka I think like San Miguel is confident na they have time. They have time. Alam naman nila na may mga easy wins dyan. Di ba?
Right.
Facts only. Okay, humaba na yung ating usapan. Now, let's go to our, punta naman tayo sa mga local players natin. Ito, biggest news this week, Troy Rosario finally confirms that he is going to suit up for Barangay Ginebra. He was acquired as a unrestricted free agent from Blackwater. And actually, Ginebra wasn't the only team that was eyeing for Troy Rosario. Meron dyan yung Converge and Tropang Giga, but at the end, Troy picked Barangay Ginebra. So do you guys think this is a good move? Advantage for Troy and advantage for Ginebra, both ways?
Well, Blackwater tried to give him a max deal. Diba? But he opted out.
Right.
Parang alam naman natin bakit eh. I think with TNT, I think nasaktan siya nung tinrade siya.
Yeah.
I think there was an article that One Sports came out with na si Jojo Lastimoso, who's the TNT team manager, sinabi ni Troy na nasaktan siya nung tinrade siya. Parang sinabi sa kanya at the time, we're gonna give you away because they're gonna get Calvin Oftane.
Yeah.
That was, I think, 2 years, 3 years ago.
2000.
And sabi nila, we're gonna get you back afterwards. Ganun ang sinabi. So parang I think si Troy, having won one championship with the TNT, parang I think nasaktan siya dun. So, I think it was a no-brainer yung decision niya to go with an SMC team. And I think just taking away the financial, kasi that will be there for a player like Troy Rosario, who I think he's still at his peak age at 32. Ang rumors, that's around 750, 800 yung per month eh. Sa nabasa ko Rumors has it.
Hindi ko alam eh.
750 to 800.
Hindi ko alam eh.
750 to 800. But when you take out the financial incentives, which I think for a caliber of Troy Rosario, makukuha mo yan eh. Any player that plays at that level, they will eventually get that kind of contract. But when you take in the non-monetary considerations, those may tatlo yan. He's rumored, marami nagsasabi na he's a long-time Ginebra fan, or yung source.
Yeah.
From sources or from articles, long-time Ginebra fan siya. Number two, you come from, biro mo sang team ka before. You're playing for a bottom dwelling team that has no chance of winning a championship. Then you go to a team over the last 19 conferences, has won 7 of those. So, championship contender ka ngayon.
Yeah.
So, parang, I guess, later on, I can speak about it. Kung a player ka, kung naglalaro ka sa team na wala namang chance manalo ng championship, parang tatamarin ka eh. I don't know pero sa akin, kung alam mo lang to begin a season, to begin a conference, wala ka ng chance manalo ng championship based on how these teams tear up against each other. Parang ba't ka pa di ba, you wanna compete for championships, and that I think is the type of player that Troy Rosario is. And last but not the least, I think this is the kicker, because Kim Cone is the head coach, and I would say na si SMC ang pumipili ngayon ng players ng Gilas natin. I think merong chance makakapag-Gilas siya. So, I would say it is a no-brainer, and on the part of Barangay Ginebra, I think they got exposed when they went up against Stock and Tex. Japet Aguilar is aging, injured si Isaac Go. So wala siyang big man eh. So you have this 6'7" guy that can help out na stretch for, that can defend, that can rebound, that can do all of the dirty stuff for Barangay Ginebra. So I think this is a good signing for Ginebra. And malaking kawalan to sa Talk and Text kasi they could have gotten him, but he opted to sign for Barangay Ginebra.
Right. Also, on the side that you said na nagtampo si Troy when it comes to TNT nung tinanggal siya, Troy was going through a difficult time nung tinanggal siya because I believe his wife just gave birth to their 3rd child. Yun yung unang boy niya, and had problems getting out of the hospital.
Okay.
And then after that, that was resolved, and then tinanggal pa siya ng TNT. Then napunta siya sa Blackwater. So, if you're Troy Rosario going through those times, and they came from the finals,
right?
So hindi sila nanalo during that time. So if you're Troy Rosario, the Sun, the not winning the championship, going through the finals, and then na-trade ka sa Blackwater. So I think it was such a
masakit talaga pag tin-trade away ka.
Yeah. The trade itself is already hard, and then going through some personal things on the side, I can only imagine what Troy was going through that time.
If I'm not mistaken, kasama yung brother ko dito sa trade na to eh. So I think it was Troy and my brother, Oftana and probably Dave Marcel. Not sure, okay? I cannot remember exactly, but what I do remember is you're right. Nanggaling sila sa finals ito to Game 7. Naglalaro ba si Mikey Williams dito sa TNT against SMB. Nanalo SMB. Yeah. And I think nung na-trade nga along with the other instances nangyayari kay Troy at that time,
3-team trade siya.
Oo, parang ganun eh. Parang ganun eh. Right. And I think hindi muna naglaro si Troy agad-agad sa Blackwater eh. Kasama pa yung injuries pala. May injuries, and then may off-court issues, understandable. So there was a time talaga na this was a really tough time for Troy, you know, as apart from the trade. And I'm gonna speak from a player's perspective. Is this good for Troy? Dino said kanina na parang peak years pa 32 diba?
Yeah.
So I agree. However, parang it's approaching the tail end na. Sa PBA, as a Filipino, iba yung sa NBA.
Yeah.
So, kasi maaga silang nagsisimula. So 32 will be you're
Medyo
heading
patay
towards the ano na. So from a player's perspective, parang unwritten rule to. So sasabihin ko from a player's perspective, yung sinasabi ni Dino kanina. Na if you're playing for a team or whatever team it is, you still want to have your latter part of your career in a competing team, in a championship competing team. He came from TNT kasi na-trade siya sa Blackwater. And then ngayon nakapagbalik siya sa competing team. So, what does that mean? Ako, may teammate ako si Louis Vigil sa 3x3. Parehas kaming hindi nagkaroon ng a lot of minutes when we were playing 5-on-5 PBA. Pero siya sa San Miguel, ako sa Blackwater. So, nakailang championship siya hindi naglalaro. Ako, hindi kami nananalo, tas hindi pa ako naglalaro.
Which one's worse?
Right.
Which
So,
one's worse?
also, may incentives yun eh. May game bonuses yun. May
championship bonus.
Semis, quarter semi, playoffs, finals bonus yun. So, what that means is, you're also, for Troy, he's gaining another opportunity to increase the however time he has left as a basketball player to provide for his family. At the end of the day, limited lang yung oras namin maglaro ng basketball.
Right.
And kailangan namin man-milk as much as we can. Yung, kasi provision naman to, hindi lang to pera-pera, pangkain to sa pamilya namin. Diba? And so, yes, this is very, very, very good for Troy from that perspective, from a personal perspective, from a player perspective, and also from a financial perspective.
Parang it checks all the boxes eh.
Everything. And siguro I would say he's blessed kasi not a lot of people who are in this time of their career na, late in their career na, nagkakaroon pa ng ganitong opportunity. So I'm so happy for him. And he will fit well with the Ginebra lineup, di ba? Sabi mo nga, maraming in and out sa mga injuries.
Si Japet, di ba? Medyo...
Right. And so, this is very, very good for Troy. And I can't wait what's gonna happen for him and for Ginebra as well.
That's right. We'll watch out for Troy Rosario ng Barangay Ginebra Kings this season.
Pag naglaro ka sa Ginebra, di ba, dami nanonood eh. So pag ikaw player, I think that's something that you want, di ba? You want the spotlight on you. It's like when you get drafted or when you play for the Lakers, yung value mo tumataas eh.
Right.
So I would think the Lakers or the Golden State Warriors of the PBA is actually Barangay Ginebra. So signing with a team like that, it actually increases your value. Baka may endorsement ka pa, di ba? Yung mga ganung bagay eh, na you won't be able to get when you're playing for teams like Blackwater, Converge.
Yeah.
Right.
Di ba? Those kind of benefits.
Ng playoffs.
Right.
Eh, saka exposure mo, di ba?
Exposure mo.
Baka...
Marketability, di ba?
Saka, alam naman natin, pag tapos mo, kuwari, like si Justin Brownlee, di ba? Pagkatapos ng career niyan, for sure, may reward yan from SMC eh, di ba? May mga ganun eh, di ba? Because of your loyalty to this franchise.
Right.
Post-career,
After career.
you might have a business or you might have a, di ba?
Right.
May ganun din naman sa TNT na-offer, pero di natin alam kung ano yung magandang offer. Pero I can say, may ganyan din yung, yung TNT.
I think both teams can offer financial incentives for Troy, but I think winay niya talaga yung tinrade away siya ng
Yeah.
Tinrade away siya ng TNT.
And gaya na sinabi niya El kanina, he's approaching his almost end.
Last stretch.
Stretch of his career. Magcha-champion pa yan.
Kumbaga ito na yung last significant contract.
I should also say, I forgot to mention kanina, a lot of players want that eh. Parang hindi namin sinasabi out loud, but we wanna land in these teams sa ending na, kasi patapos ka na eh, di ba? Sa patapos ka na, so parang kumbaga, parang ayaw mo mapunta sa team na hindi ka magsasucceed, di ba? Parang gusto mo mag-finish ng career. Lalo na a caliber like Troy, di ba? Sa magandang team na talagang alagaan ka after your career. Yes. Yeah.
That's right.
Ilan nabigyan ng coaching jobs, di ba?
Oo, madami.
After ng career.
Ayan. Okay, let's move on to our next topic. Let's talk about the format for the NBA All-Star this year. So we heard that it's going to be a 4-team tournament, and I believe they are trying to switch things up kasi parang hindi nila nagustuhan yung naging results sa All-Star last season. So they're trying to tweak things para mas maging exciting for the NBA fans this year.
Well, if you will recall, if we were to recall, itong 2024 last season, yung 2024 NBA All-Star game, they reverted back to the East versus West. And the last time that they actually had that kind of format, prior to that kasi, prior to reverting back to this, they were doing the drafts.
Yeah, picks.
May dalawang captain, tapos they do the drafts.
Yeah.
So the last time they had an East and West prior to this 2024 NBA All-Star game format was 2017. Yun yung last time na nagkaroon ng East versus West. Now, looking at the 2025 NBA All-Star, they're, like you said, they're looking to switch it up with a 4-team tournament. Pero sa akin, parang nawala yung essence of what the NBA All-Star game is. Kumbaga, I would think as a fan, mas gusto ko pa rin yung East versus West. Now, the concern there is the lack of competitiveness and lack of yung defensive effort ng mga players. And sadly for me, NBA is a business kasi.
Yeah.
And businesses like yung professional sports league, they have tentpole events. Like the NBA Summer League, that's a tentpole event. The NBA Draft, that's a tentpole event. Yun yung kumbaga inaabangan. Tapos ngayon, they installed, because bumababa nga yung ratings ng regular season nila, nagkaroon sila ng NBA Emirates Cup, di ba? Yung parang a tournament within a season. In-season tournament. So now, you look at the NBA All-Star Weekend, that's a tentpole event also of the NBA, na they sell to sponsors. They sell to cities that will spend a lot for this event. So parang they're trying to find a way to make it relevant year in and year out. So ang problema dyan, parang pag ikaw yung fan, parang kung ganun yung naglalaro, parang lay-up line na lang, dumadunk-dunk na lang, 3 points na lang. Parang to make it a good product, you can't just have all the best players on the floor, but you also have to make the game competitive. Kasi kung wala yung, it checks the first box, which is nandun lahat ng best players in the league.
Yeah.
The problem is the competitiveness. Kasi number one, no one's playing defense. Why? Kasi I think malaking factor yung we're in an era of load management na like, what does it matter if we win this game? If we lose our chances of getting into the playoffs and winning a championship. At the same time, there's a rule already that was imposed last season na if you play fewer than 65 games, it disqualifies you from winning an award in the regular season, which is a All-NBA team, MVP award, Defensive Player of the Year. So you have to play. Kung ikaw yung player, uunahin ko yung priority ko yung individual award ko kasi there are incentives attached in those individual awards. So parang sa akin, parang kung ikaw yung NBA, ang hirap i-convince yung mga players to play at a high level when it means nothing to them.
Ito baka pag 14 format siya, baka medyo depensa pa sila during the first game kasi kailangan umabot sila dun sa next round eh.
Sa akin, parang it's a big problem na that the NBA currently has because parang ang hirap hingin yung competitive nature ng mga players knowing na when you increase the level of competitiveness, that means they're gonna put in effort, they're gonna put defense in, they're gonna lock. Kumbaga lalabang ka talaga eh. The chances of injury will increase at a higher level. Si Joel Embiid nga, hindi na nga naglalaro. Paano pa, di ba? Sa All-Star game, di ba?
They're also not familiar with how each one moves.
Right.
So may magkamali na ng galaw doon, may maapakan na sila, ma-injury pa sila, whereas sa isang All-Star game. Yeah.
Right. For me, I like it. I like it only because there's something. They're doing something about it. Because the last time that I really enjoyed watching was I think 2021 when uminit si Steph, uminit si Dame. Parang first time si LeBron. But it was something to look forward. I think that's the first time that they placed an incentive. I think kung sino yata manalo, may donation sa charity. Something like that.
Yeah.
So, since then, naging boring ulit. So, they have to do something. And I like this. I think this idea is coming from, kasi pick-up game style siya. If maraming liga dyan sa pick-up game, mga runs dyan. And alam nyo na mga 20 usually yung pumupunta. So maghahatian ng teams muna, tas pila-pila. Matira matibay. Kumbaga, yun yung mangyayari. Yun yung nature ng pick-up game. And I think, if I can remember, it was Barack Obama na nagsabi nito sa isang podcast yata ng Nova guys. Sina Jalen Brunson. Sinabi niya na, I don't understand why the All-Star Weekend is so boring and why you guys don't play as hard. When in the summertime, pag nag-prepare kayo for the season, go hard kayo sa mga pick-up games. And sumikat yun di ba? Yung talagang napapanood. Open runs. Yeah. Sobrang go hard nyo dun. Yun, walang pera nga yun Walang media, walang pero grabe kayo dumive, ganyan, grabe kayo yung pride aspect na hindi kayo magpapatalo. So, ba't hindi nyo masimulate ito sa All-Star when it's for the fans, it's for people. And so, I think that's the idea of this. So parang pick-up game, open run style siya. And ito pa yung isang aspect why I like it. Kasi hindi gumagana yung tribal effect ng East versus West Parang, kumbaga, it's not that, walang emotional na parang, taga-East kami, taga-West kami. Hindi siya ganun ka-appealing na talagang magta-tribe ako dito. However, yung fantasy draft style might work. So, 4 na teams. So, ngayon, now you're separating the 2 teams into 4 teams na ngayon mas maraming challenger na ngayon. So, parang, I think, for me, it's more interesting than 2 teams for now. And, may bonus pa. May Rising Star Challenge. Yeah. So ngayon, may pressure dun sa mga matatanda na huwag kayong magpatalo sa mga bata. Pero yung mga bata, syempre hungry sila. Fresh pa sila. Hindi sila naglo-load management. Talagang, sige, kami mananalo dito sa All-Star Game. Ayaw nyo go hard, kami go hard. My only problem is, may 4 teams din yung Rising Star. Sa akin, isang team na lang sila. Kasi ilan lang ba yung magaling na rookies and sophomores, diba? So, isang team mo na lang sila yung 4th team. Tapos yun na lang yung mismo yung maglaban-laban, 'di ba? And so kasi parang may step ladder pa sa Rising Star and stuff like that. So I think it's something. It's a change that we can see. Imagine mo pag may 4 na captains dyan or LeBron, Steph, KD, and Giannis. Maybe lang Giannis. Sige, bumuo kayo ng team nyo, kayong 4. So imbis na one-on-one na Giannis or KD or KD LeBron, 4 na ngayon ang captains or something. Tapos tingnan natin kung sino. So it's interesting and sana gumuhard. Kasi parang yung format niya parang open run nga Matira matibay. Hanggang 40 points to hanggang 25 points. So hopefully it's something, di ba? It's something that will sort of like, medyo pride yan. Kumbaga kung 4 na veterans yan, ikaw pinaka-bano, LeBron, ikaw pinaka-Steph, yung team nyo yung pinaka-natalo. So sana it's something, di ba? It's something, and I think it was going from yung comment ni Barack Obama na sa summertime nga, gumugo hard kayo sa mga open runs, tapos sa All-Star Weekend, di ba?
I think it's different because it's in season
Yes.
It's in season. Iba yung preparing Iba yung in season ka So you're trying to preserve yourself.
Right. For the playoffs.
Especially for the first half kasi madami ka ng lalarong games. So, it's good to innovate, pero sa akin, mas gusto ko pa rin yung East versus West. It's just that choice ng players if they want to compete or not.
Yeah, but
changing the format.
Bro, given na ngayon na hindi na ganyan yung mentality ng mga players ngayon compared, I remember the days, bro, when we were growing up na Kobe, Allen Iverson, Marbury.
Pinabantay ni Kobe si LeBron, di ba?
Go hard!
Di ba? Go hard.
Go hard.
I think it's just different na I wouldn't think that we can makakapag-demand tayo sa mga players na mag-compete kayo, magdumepensa kayo, kasi Also, diba parang yung score pa nun, umabot pa ng 211,
sobrang walang depensa.
Diba?
Well, actually, isa pa pala yun. Kasi race to 40 points and then 25 points. Kumbaga, short, lang siya, hindi siya aabot ng 200 points.
Tapos parang yung isa kasing
game.
4 yun na teams, di ba?
Yes,
Yung isang
yes.
team doon will be coming from the Rising Stars.
Yung Rising Star,
4.
yeah.
Yung the 3, that will be split into 8 per team. So that means 24 players, 12 from each conferences. Di-divide yan. So 24 yan divided by 3. So, tapos yung magko-coach dun sa 4 na teams is the top 2 teams
coaches
of each conference.
Right. And bro, 8 players.
Pero sa akin,
yun? Parang, ilan lang yun.
If you look at the NBA All-Star Weekend, apart from, I think yung mabenta na lang dun is yung skills challenge, saka yung 3-point shootout. Tapos, they're planning to bring in Caitlin Clark and Klay Thompson along with Sabrina Ionescu and Steph Curry.
Maganda yan,
so,
pare.
Kasi yung NBA Slam Dunk contest na rin, medyo it's dying down na rin eh. So,
is it
I think the last time was yung kay yung
2016.
Makmak lang, tsaka yung kay Aaron Gordon.
Yun yung for me the best.
Zach Lavine,
Aaron Gordon. Like wala nang tatalo doon. Tagal na nun.
Yung slam dunk tsaka yung NBA All-Star parang medyo
it's also a good test proof that the game has truly evolved into a 3-point shooting game kasi yung prime time is the 3-point contest, not anymore the slam dunk competition.
Kasi yung slam dunk marami na ring top stars that are avoiding the slam dunk.
Yeah.
LeBron hasn't competed in it.
Not. Sa layup line ng anak niya sa AAU siya.
Diba?
But yeah, for me, I like this. It's something to look forward to. I'm not sure if ganun ba, draft picks ba siya or voting.
Malamang drafting yan.
I would rather have it drafting na isipin mo KD, LeBron, Steph, and Giannis maybe or...
Hindi, yung isang Rising Stars yun eh.
Ay, oo, tama.
Rising Stars
so piliin kayo ng pinakamalakas na team. Tapos prize
pero
na lang yun.
Pero ginawa na nila yun eh. Pero sa
yun head to head eh. Ito, 4 sila eh, di ba? Ay, tatlo sila eh, di ba?
Pero yun nga, hindi na nga mag-compete na nga dun sa prior All-Star. What can you expect for them to compete?
Pero abangan natin yan. The 2025 NBA All-Star Game is going to happen on February 16 in the Golden State area.
San Francisco, yes.
Yeah, so let's see what's going to happen with this 4-team tournament. Okay, last but not least, of course, we are going to have our SPNation expert picks. So there are 14 games tomorrow, but we are choosing 3 games, exciting games, and we'll take our picks between the 2 teams. First game, we have the Atlanta going up against Cleveland. Medyo no-brainer na to. Atlanta is coming from a loss against Dallas, and Cleveland, of course, is coming off from a win.
Yes, no-brainer siya, given the records and how hot of a team Cleveland is.
Yeah.
Only losing in a close game against the Boston Celtics, the defending champions. Cleveland is playing this at their home court. So they're 10-0 at home, and then Atlanta is 3-6 on the road. 3 wins and 6 losses. So and then Trae Young is still questionable with the right Achilles tendinitis. So for me, easy pick to. Unless uminit ang Atlanta. That's just how tas maalat ang Cleveland.
Right.
Pero easy game.
For me, kahit uminit yung Atlanta,
mas maalat ang Cleveland.
Mas mainit yung Cleveland eh. Kasi they're one of the, if not, I think they're the first in 3-point field goals and also mades in this year. And Atlanta also hasn't been doing a very good job defending the 3-point line. They're giving away almost 40% sa 3-point field goal. And so, ito yung classic case na perfect kalaban ni Cleveland, ang team na Atlanta, kasi binibigay nila yung 3-point shot easily. Hindi naman binibigay, but they're not defending it well. And Cleveland is really stroking it the whole season long. And I predict that they will continue to shoot this well the whole season. We'll see sa playoffs. But yeah, I agree with you. Cleveland ang pick ko dito. Expert pick.
Alright, for the next game, we have the New York Knicks going up against Dallas. New York Knicks is coming from a win against the Nuggets, and the Dallas also, they're coming from a win against Atlanta. So ito, medyo tabla sila sa standings. Who's your pick, guys?
Well, this is a game that I think has meaning for both teams. Not just on the win and loss record, but Jalen Brunson used to play for Dallas until he signed with New York back in 2022. During his rookie contract, he played for Dallas and they made that kind of run. Sila yung tandem ni Luka Doncic. They came from the same draft. Second round pick si Jalen Brunson. So I think this game has meaning to it. Although, since Jalen Brunson signed with New York back in July 2022, the past 2 seasons, there's 0-4 against Dallas.
Yeah.
Now, why am I picking the New York over Dallas Mavericks in this game? Well, number one, Luka Doncic is gonna be out tomorrow with a right wrist sprain because he got injured November 21 and then it will take a week before he gets re-evaluated. And then Derek Lively and Klay Thompson is questionable for this game. So, obviously, if those 2 players don't play in this game, medyo tatamaan yung depth ng Dallas. Now, at the same time, the past 2 seasons, Jalen Brunson didn't have Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges. And he has spent time already with Josh Hart and OG Anunoby. So, parang sa akin, medyo nagbubuo na ng chemistry tong New York Knicks. And I see them actually winning this game over Dallas. Kasi malaking bagay talaga wala si Luka. Although yeah, they won against the Atlanta Hawks. I still think this is a game that New York will win. Kumbaga, their first win during the Jalen Brunson era.
I agree with Dino as well for these reasons. I think along with all the Luka not playing and who's available and who's not available, I don't think the Mavs have done a very good job in a pick and roll situation this year. Yes, that's their offensive weapon, but that's also one of their weaknesses. Or they're still trying to figure it out. They're still trying to figure it out this season. They're very high octane offensively. Defensively, however, this will play right into the hands of the Knicks because we know that Jalen Brunson is arguably a top 3-point guard.
Pick and roll.
Yeah, master of the pick and roll. If Chris Paul was a scorer, he would be Jalen Brunson in the pick and roll. And to Dino's point, yes, the New York Knicks, they're finding their rhythm. They struggled early on the season, but I think now they're really picking up the pieces and they're building their momentum. So both great teams, both equal in terms of roster, but I think the New York Knicks will come out on top as well.
Alright, for the third game, the Oklahoma Thunders going against the Golden State Warriors. So ito, medyo tabla din sila sa win-loss record. OKC coming from a win against Sacramento and the Golden State Warriors coming off a loss against the Brooklyn Nets.
So these are the number 1 and number 2 seed teams in the West. Now whoever wins this game will be number 1. Although it will be 13-5, but
right.
Golden State has the advantage because they've already beaten OKC. Although we're just parang 25% pa lang naman tayo ng season so there's so much basketball to be played over the course of this season. Pero I think OKC kasi malakas sila, Isaiah Hartenstein is playing right now the past 2 games. They won the last 2 games. Although they don't have Chet, but I still see Golden State winning this game because with Chet they're 8-1. Without Chet they're 5-3. Although that's a winning percentage, the games they've won most of them are under 500 teams. They won against New Orleans. Without Chet, New Orleans, which is 4-14, Portland is 7-11, Sacramento is 8-10. Now the only teams that are above 500 that they won against in those 5 games, or in those 8 games, was the Clippers and Phoenix. Now Phoenix were without KD during that game. And Phoenix without KD is 1-6. Although he played ngayon, nanalo sila sa Lakers that I'm rooting for, di ba, this season. So basically, yung malakas talagang nakalaban nila so far without Chet is the Clippers, which is an above 500 team. I think they're the number 6 seed in the Western Conference. So, and for this game, home court advantage ng GSW, and how we know they're 5-2 at home, and we all know how difficult it is to win a game in the home court sa Chase Center sa Golden State Warriors. And sa akin, ang nakikita ko dito sa Golden State is they play 12-man deep. No player in their lineup. Kumbaga, walang ginagamit ng walang nag-average ng 30 minutes above dito sa Golden State. So they're deep. The last 2 games, the problem was they got outscored in the fourth quarter. So I think glaring naman yun at kumbaga, they got outscored by San Antonio 33-13, Brooklyn 41-28. Which were both games that were winnable for them. They could have been 14-3 right now. But I still see Golden State winning this game. Even Steph is questionable with a bilateral knee patellofemoral pain. Although he played last game, and then Jonathan Kuminga has missed the past 2 games. But sabi naman sa reports na nag-practice siya nitong today sa Golden State. So he might be able to play and Steph might be able to play. I think parang given the things that iniinda ni Steph, naglalaro na siya. So I think they wanna make a run this season. So I think Golden State will win this game.
All 3 picks parehas kami ni Dino. So, kung manalo lahat ito 3-0, pwede tayong Krispy Kreme, ano. Pero wag kayong magagalit, pasensya na po pag mag 0-3 kami. Yes, I also picked Golden State Warriors. This is not an expert pick, this is a fan pick kasi alam niyo naman po, lagi kong pipiliin ang Golden State dahil Golden State fan po. I am a Warriors fan.
Mahirap, atong last game, I think that was the hardest among the 3.
Yeah.
Because OKC is rising team talaga to eh.
And bro, we'll both agree that this is a must-watch, must-see TV game, OKC and Golden State kasi it's gonna be
basta maglaro si Steph.
Basta maglaro si Steph. So,
although wala si Chet eh.
It's also a preview of top teams na ng West eh, diba? So a preview of what can happen late in the Western Conference Finals. And so I like how Golden State is playing, especially at home. And for me, they're deeper than ever for the past few years. And even si Steve Kerr nagsabi, they're very, very deep. And I think they can exchange bodies with the guards, with the wings. Currently, the bigs, since Chet is not playing, that will really be good for the Warriors. A good opportunity for the Warriors to get out and find some mismatches and look for the 3-point shots. And so, at home, it's really tough to beat Golden State. And historically, ang ganda ng laro lagi ni Steph pag OKC kalaban for many, many years. Yeah. And so,
nalala ko talaga
maglalaro siya.
Yung half-court, di ba? To win the game.
Yeah, di ba? Parang grabe yun. With 2 seconds left, di ba? Pwede pa siya, that's a classic Steph shot. And so, I think Golden State will win this game as well.
Alright, that's it for our SPNation expert picks. Ngayon, punta naman tayo sa ating comments on Facebook and on TikTok. Of course, we are live there at Sports Plus PH. Don't forget to give us a follow. We collected some of the comments that you guys gave in throughout the episode. So, let's take a look at some of them and sagutin natin siya. Okay. Great addition sa Barangay Ginebra si Troy. Tapos dream team pa niya. Siguradong pupukpuk yan. We're happy to have Troy sa barangay. Yes, we agree. We mentioned earlier that this doesn't happen all the time, especially for players sa age ni Troy. Playing from Blackwater going to Barangay Ginebra at the age of 32.
Again, as a player, thank you for that comment, no, Toto. So, as a player, I think we're for Troy going to a high competing team, as Dino mentioned earlier, no. But also at the same time, with the struggles that he's had over the past few years since 2022, this will be a breath of fresh air, and we could see a re-energized Troy that we probably haven't seen before. Lalo na peak niya pa, diba? Sabi ni Dino kanina. And so, great addition. I think maganda yung 3 and 4 spot nila ni Justin Brownlee, eh, diba? Yeah. It's gonna be a good combination.
Lumalim na,
lalo na sa with the injuries that they've been having, and so very, very, very excited to see what's gonna happen.
Saka I think napagod kitang-kita na dun sa final series nila against Talk and Text during the Governor's Cup. Parang nakita na pagod na si Brownlee. And Japet, yung kumbaga yung supporting cast niya wasn't that consistent throughout the series. So I think adding a Troy Rosario to the mix, malaking bagay yan sa mga Barangay Ginebra fans, di ba? They'll be cheering more and more for players like Troy Casares.
Ang nakikita ko palang a little bit of setback na possibly mangyari is yung adjustment period ni Troy sa... He's never run triangle offense. And so, that could be... baka lumabas pa to, Ginebra fans, sa playoffs na. But meron pang adjustment period a little bit. Yeah, 2 months.
And then,
adjustment
with
period
the addition of Hong Kong Eastern, you're gonna play 12 games.
Plus 1 game.
Single round robin. Ang nakikita ko dito, mahahasa siya dun sa mga teams na, alam mo na, medyo tier 2, tier 3. Medyo tier 2, tier 3. Di ba kasi, mas marami kang oras para mag-experiment dun di ba? Yung mga, alam mong, yung medyo nasa, when you look at the calendar, di ba? I know you look at this na parang, these are games na we can win easily. Di ba? So parang, Troy, we're gonna give you play more minutes, di ba? Rest up the stars.
Yeah.
Yung pala yung pinag-usapan natin this episode, no? Tier 1, 2, 3 na PBA.
I think that's the reality right now for the PBA for the longest time.
We just spelled it
Sinabi
out
ko naman
loud.
di ba? Tagal na yung the last time na may non-SMC, non-MVP na nakapasok ng finals, non-SMC, non-MVP na nag-champion. Tagal na yun. Pre-pandemic pa yun. So, that was a long time ago. Ilang taon pa lang tayo nung time na yun. Naglalaro pa si
Pre-pandemic pa yun.
Naglalaro pa si Ayen. Di ba? Nag-cover ka pa ng
Nilabas na.
Parang ako nung time na yun, di pa ako nag-work sa sports. So parang, sobrang tagal na nung time na yun na nangyari. So ngayon, talagang clear na clear kung sino talaga yung, bilang lang sa isang kamay, kung sino yung mga contenders every
Di nga
single
isang
conference.
kamay
Di ba?
Apat,
Pwede mong putulan ng isang daliri, di ba?
Alright, let's go to the next comment. Bakit papalitan if nag-perform, di ba? Happy that my TNT will stick with RHJ. Best import yan lagi. Iba yung mentality niya sa laro. Winner talaga, tsaka walang toyo. Ayan. So, yes.
Well, what I like about RHJ is he plays both ends. Tsaka he's the type of player that you can play for the whole game. 48 minutes. And like I said earlier, he might be like a Justin Brownlee for Barangay Ginebra. For Justin Brownlee for TNT.
Yeah.
Sorry. Parang si RH, nakikita ko siya yung parang Justin Brownlee for Barangay Ginebra kasi nakikita ko he might have a trajectory wherein he can win multiple championships and a mainstay import for one franchise, which is rare yun nangyayari.
Right. And usually pag nangyayari yun, GOAT level import yun di ba? Parang nandun siya pumapasok na Sean Chambers, di ba? Bobby Ray Potts.
Tsaka mag-iba sila ng timeline ni Brownlee. Medyo patapos na si Brownlee, si
RHJ ngayon pa lang. And also at the same time, like what Dino said, no? Like usually sa imports, pipili ka ng either high motor or high scoring. RHJ has both So yun yung sinasabi ni Dino na offensively, high scoring din siya, high creator, high playmaker. But defensively, high motor din talagang lahat ng rebounds, lahat sina-challenge from first quarter to fourth quarter.
Yung defense niya, sumasapal talaga.
Right. So, I mean, he played in the NBA, diba? And so, yan yung mga talagang quality role player siya sa NBA, but pagdating dito, talagang lumalabas talaga yung laro niya.
Malaki bayad din compared
Hindi ko lang.
Tingin ko lang. Kasi, di ba?
Given na yan. Given as imports. Ayan, let's go to the next comment. Kawawa yung mga dukhang team dyan sa free agency ng PBA. Mag-aalisan yung mga players kasi yung iba ayaw naman manalo. Kilala nyo yung mga teams na yan. Sana ibenta na lang yung franchise sa willing manalo. Bumabadoy tuloy ang PBA.
Yes.
Even, I mean, for years naman, if you live in the comment section like I do, nararamdaman din naman ng fans yung current atmosphere, current situation.
Yung PBA na lang din nakakaramdam.
Well, ang sabi nga, di ba ang sabi ni Boss Al, sabi niya, mahirap tanggalin yung sister teams kasi sa akin tanggalin mo na lang yung mga alleged farm teams.
Uy.
Kasi sa akin, at least yun, it makes it competitive. Walang magbibigay ng players ng basta-basta. What happened a couple of days ago? Diba? Yung nung ano na, medyo patapos na yung career, bibitawan na, kukunin yung mga bata that can produce at for the team. So sa akin, while, di ba sa NBA, pag bumaba yung ratings, they're trying to figure out things. Although some of their solutions might not work out, but at least they're doing something. Sa akin, hindi ko nakikita na ginagawa ng PBA yung pag-implement ng things to make things better. Kasi ang ini-implement nila is yung 4-point plan, yung basta yung mga ganun mga ganung stuff na hindi naman magbabago yung sentiments ng mga fans. And we'll keep on, totoo lang, nakakasawa na rin eh.
No, but when you look at it from the business perspective, in defense of the PBA, ilan lang ba yung company dito sa Pilipinas na kayang magpasahod dun sa mga players na ganun kalalaki na SMC and MVP
Pero ang
level?
balita ko maraming gusto sumali before.
Yan din yung naririnig ko.
Tapos okay, let's just take a look at Alaska. Bakit ba niya binenta yung franchise niya?
Yeah.
Because they don't see it, they don't see themselves benefiting from it on a business standpoint.
Kasi
Si Ramon ang na rin mismo nagsabi na sa isang season, 1 billion pesos yung ginagastos niya doon. At napaisip na rin siya na bitawan yung PBA. So from a business standpoint, you're not making money from the PBA. So it's really a marketing arm or a marketing expense for all of these companies. And the only thing that's keeping them there is may passion yung mga owners for basketball.
Right.
So the only way for it to thrive and expand and grow for me is to make it a business. And you have to treat, and the way they're operating right now, they're not operating as a business. Kasi yung business mo, the product is the game itself. Now, if you have teams that are not competing for championships for so many years since they've been part of the league, wala talagang mangyayari.
Yeah.
Hindi talaga, di ba? Parang kung ikaw yung fan, ba't ka bibili ng ticket?
Yeah.
Wala. Sino ba? Ano bang papalit?
Galit na galit tayo, no? But guys, this is coming from a basketball fan perspective.
Pero, there's potential. Kasi
potential
when you watch the TNT tsaka Barangay Ginebra,
pa rin nila eh.
Hindi, tsaka, yes, because they're competing talaga for a championship. Ang nasisira lang talaga is because of those trades. So parang we don't give the independent teams a chance. And at the same time, the foreign teams are there for the win column of those teams that are in the tier 1.
Yeah. That's right.
Thank you, Dropping Dimes, Events Manila, for that comment. I don't think I need to say anymore. And I will choose not to.
Wala eh, mahirap. Ako nahihinayang ako for the PBA. And I think tayong mga Pinoy naman na passionate tayo sa basketball, given naman yun, we want the league to grow because it will give opportunity to players. But if the people that are running the league itself, they're very close-minded, or at the same time, hindi nila they choose to blind themselves from what reality is, mapag-iiwanan talaga tayo. Kaya sa article na nababasa natin palagi, ang mapagmamalaki natin, the first pay-for-play professional league, a pay-for-play league in Asia. Yun lang.
That's right.
But we're not the best. Right now, we're not the best professional basketball league in Asia. That's for sure.
That's right. Okay, let's go to our next comment. Dami naming hugot for today's episode. Mas okay if gawin ng NBA na pilitin yung mga players sumali sa dunk contest. Yun kasi talaga inaabangan ng mga fans dati. Ngayon kasi kung sino-sino na lang, they owe the fans magpakita tuwing All-Star Weekends. Agree ba kayo?
Ideally, pero paano eh? Paano mo pipilitin
Choice
yung isang
kasi ng player yun eh.
Yeah.
To be honest, ako, kung ayaw nila sige, like sina Jamoran, we wanna see him, di ba, compete in a dunk contest, di ba?
But if they don't want,
sa
they're
ngayon,
not gonna do it.
right, so sa ngayon, ang mainit ngayon yung 3-point contest eh. So, dito na muna tayo, di ba? Yun yung mas enjoyable now eh, di ba? So, before, like, ever since, di ba, start pa lang pag-transition ABA to NBA, talagang dunk contest eh. It's something that they've never seen before. But also now kasi yung feel of the game is really more of ilang makashoot na tres, ganyan, kung gaano ka hot streak. doon na muna, di ba? Doon na muna. I like what they're doing na. Gusto ko makita, manonood ako noon, Caitlin Clark versus Clay versus Steph versus Sabrina. That's so exciting, di ba? So, sa akin, kung pilitin ngayon, baka hindi din mag-work. I-milk muna yung 3-point.
Yung pag-shift ng NBA, that's a good, I mean, the move that they made with Steph and Sabrina last year, I think that was a really, kumbaga great move yun, numbers-wise, ratings-wise, maganda yun for the NBA. So, sa akin yung dunk contest, parang, parang we're in an age or in a time na hindi na katulad nung parang Michael Jordan, Kobe na parang, you know, I will play in this game because I will play every single day that I can because alam kong may isang fan dyan na nag-ipon at nagbayad ng ticket para makita akong manood.
Right.
Parang we don't see, medyo rare na may ganong player na will go all out. Or love.
Go.
Tsaka may napanood akong interview ni Draymond Green. I think during the time na nagpa-podcast pa si JJ Redick. I think sinabi niya na 80%, 85% of NBA players don't love or don't have that deep passion for the game. And JJ Redick agreed. Yung commitment, once they get the paycheck na, wala na yung level of commitment, dedication, finding ways to get better and so they're just there for the paycheck.
Pero I would pay. I would also pay for a Ja Morant, Anthony Edwards dunk contest. The way they are
dunking it.
They remind me of 90s basketball yung athleticism or siguro hindi 90s, mga late 90s, early 2000s, VC, Kobe era. Athletic sila maglaro ngayon I would pay to see something like that. Pero kailangan hindi yung mga bangko yung nagda-dunk contest. Diba, yung mga caliber ni Ja Morant and ni Anthony Edwards, that's something that I would consider to spark the dunk contest again.
Hindi lang kasi yung dunk mismo, you need star power
Yes Diba parang
yung aura.
Yung
aura of the
player. Yung angas bro, yung angas ng dalawa, diba? Parang kailangan yun That's the swag
Grabe yun, naalala ko yung kay Aaron Gordon talaga tsaka kay Zach LaVine. Ilang beses ko yung inulit, pinanood ko
until now. Bro, pinapanood ka pa rin until now. Ganun ka entertaining.
Parang it's like, yung parang, yung mga, kumbaga nangyari siya pero binabalik-balikan mo siya kasi wala ka namang panood ngayon
Right. It's something that we've never seen before. And sa ngayon, yung mga pro dunkers na wala sa NBA, mas magagaling pa sa mga dunkers.
Ang alam ko yun din yung problema ng NFL yung American football sa US, yung professional league nila. Problem nila sa All-Star game is parang players don't wanna compete.
Right.
So, parang sa akin, that's a good problem for the NBA. Kasi looking at the NBA naman, they're a global brand. A lot of people tune into them. And I think they're the type of organization that will figure it out eventually. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng...
Compared to?
Huwag na natin sorry. Parang they're the type of organization. Even if yung mga solusyon na gusto nilang gawin, hindi siya mag-work, they will figure out another way to make it work.
Right.
Diba?
Like the changes that they're doing now.
Saka nakasecure na sila ng ilang million na media rights, diba? 70 plus million media rights for 10 years. They're pretty much secured.
Right.
Ayun, last comment natin yun. How am I going to wrap up this entire episode? Sa dami namin pinag-usapan. Okay, so today's episode, we were able to talk about the new and the old PBA imports coming back for the 29th season of the PBA Commissioner's Cup. Pero parang dun sa topic of conversation, pinag-usapan lang namin kasi yung mga teams na nasa Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3.
I think you don't look at who the rivals are or the bigs. You just look at yung apat na teams. San Miguel, Ginebra, Toc-Intex, Meralco. Yun lang. Tingnan mo lang yung imports ng apat. Wag mo na tingnan yung iba.
And aside from imports, pag-usapan natin yung ating mga local players, and we are very happy for Troy Rosario, who is now suited up for the Barangay Ginebra Kings. It's a win-win situation for both Troy and for the Gin Kings. And we also took our SPNation expert picks, in which we picked the Cleveland Cavaliers, continuing their winning streak. We also picked the New York Knicks to win against the Dallas Mavericks. because of the chemistry with Karl Anthony Towns, and of course, hindi rin maglalaro kasi si Luka Doncic. So it's gonna be such a big factor for that game. And finally, we are going to have a quick sneak peek of what can happen in the finals between OKC Thunders and the Golden State Warriors, being the top 1 and number 2 seed. And syempre nag-pick tayo Golden State Warriors because fan and because it's going to be a home game. They are 5-0.
5-2
in the Chase Center. Ayan. So, guys, we discussed a lot of things in today's episode. Medyo napahaba tayo ngayon, but thanks so much for joining us in today's episode. If you guys are ready to elevate your sports experience, then dive into the world of live sports and register with Sports Plus PH. So whether you guys are a diehard fan or you just simply love the thrill of the game, we've got you guys covered. So don't forget to give us a follow on our social media accounts on Facebook and TikTok. That's at Sports Plus PH. So once again, thank you so much for joining us in tonight's episode, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.
I was like on that last straw, and then I got the chance in the Philippines, and then I kind of guess my back was on the wall, and it just felt like I got to make this work.